Welcome to this complete guide to the Mob of the Dead Easter Egg. Even though I'm not playing as myself, I'll be guiding you through all the buildables and some side quests that need to be done in order to complete this egg. We're going to start off by trying to open the map up. For this guide, I'll be using the shopping-free gobblegum. Alright, so we're going out of order here, but the first thing you should do after opening up the map is to feed all 3 of the Cerberus heads. Each Cerberus head will eat 6 zombies before it's completed, so make sure you keep count. Once the Cerberus head disappears, you can start feeding the next ones on the map. There's a total of 3. One will be near spawn on CD Street, one will be at the docks, and the final one will be in the infirmary right before reaching the roof.
Now's a good time to pick a fight.
Once we've fed all 3 heads, we can go down to the Citadel tunnels to collect our reward, the Hell's Retriever. This item is essential to completing the Easter egg. Before we go any further, we need to make sure to acquire the Warden's Key, which has 2 different spawn locations. One right before the Warden's office, and one right before entering the cafeteria. Now that we have the Warden's Key, we're able to start collecting some of the plane parts that we need to escape this island. The first part I'll collect is the one found in the laundry room. We're going to need to do a small holdout in this room until the machine finishes drying our plane piece.
I found the sheets, guys.
The second plane part can be found at the end of the docks. You'll need to open the first gate with the Warden's Key and then enter the afterlife to power the second door so you can grab the piece.
All right. That's the oxygen tanks taken care of.
To get our next part, we'll need to shock some generators to prevent the electricity that's blocking our path. There will be 2 generators in the main room that appear brighter than the rest and have a shock prompt, and 1 generator will appear in a side area that you can only get to in the afterlife. Before we go grab the part that was blocked with electricity, we can grab our 4th part in the Citadel spiral. To get this part, we have to enter the afterlife and enter the numbers we see on the walls into the 3 light bulbs at the ground level. Once you've successfully done this, the elevator will lower and a countdown will begin. Make your way down and the part is all yours.
I got the rigging.
Here's our 3rd part that we can grab on our way to the roof. Once you make it to the infirmary, you can simply grab the final part that we need to craft the plane. After building the plane, you can start the takeoff sequence, which will get us to the Pack-a-Punch.
Which one of us is steering this thing?
And head to the Warden's office to start the free Blundergat quest. You'll need to collect a total of 5 blue skulls hidden around the map. To grab them, simply throw your Hell's Retriever at the same spots I do. Here's our 2nd skull. Here's our 3rd skull. Here's the 4th skull. Once you've collected the final skull, you should hear the usual sinister laughter we've come to know in zombies. When you head to the Warden's office, there will be a small animation playing, allowing you to collect a free Blundergat. This is mandatory for doing the Easter egg, even if you have a Blundergat from the box. We can start getting the pieces we need for the Acidgat. One could spawn behind the stairs shown here in the video. It could spawn on top of the metal cart near spawn. Or it could spawn to the right of the gobblegum machine near the laundry room entrance. Our 2nd Acidgat part has 3 spawns. I'll be knifing where they are, so pay attention. The last Acidgat part has 3 spawns as well. Pay attention to where I knife. Once you've got all 3 parts, head over to any workbench to get your Acidgat. Now that we have our Acidgat, I'll show you where you can find all of the shield parts. Our first shield part can be found on the dock. It could spawn in any of the 3 locations I knife.
We should take this to a workbench, see what we can throw together. You're not giving me any fucking love bites.
Our second shield part can be found in the generator room. It could spawn in any of the 3 locations I knife.
Fucker. This looks like it should fit with something else.
Our final shield part can be found just outside the generator room or inside the Citadel tunnels. It could spawn in any of the 3 locations I
A
knife.
few more parts, maybe we'll have something useful.
Once you've crafted and equipped your shield, head towards the warden's office and stop on the second to last cell. There should be a bright green poster inside. To get the spoon melee weapon, you need to throw your Hell's Retriever and then enter the afterlife. Once you're in the afterlife, you'll notice a new path has been opened, and on the floor, you can see the spoon, shock it a couple of times until it disappears. After it's gone, make your way to the cafeteria and throw your Hell's Retriever at the table to the left of the far barrier. If done correctly, you'll now have the spoon melee weapon. If you've been following along to this point, all you have to do now is board the plane 2 more times. After your 3rd return to the island, the numbers at the bottom of the Citadel spiral should be flickering. If they are, head into the afterlife and put in the following number code: 101, 386, 872, and 481. Don't mind me messing up on 101 twice. Once you've put in all the numbers and revive yourself, you should pick up an audio log and the screen should turn black and white. Simply listen to the audio and follow the path I take to grab the next one.
Over the decades, Alcatraz has seen more than its fair share of daring escape attempts. However, few were as audacious as the one undertaken by 4 inmates on New Year's Eve, 1933. Thought to be the brainchild of an inmate by the name of Albert Arlington, the outrageous scheme was as unlikely as its mastermind. It's believed that Arlington, aka the Weasel, somehow convinced 3 other inmates that he had devised a foolproof plan to escape the rock. It was a plan that would see them literally taking to the skies on a makeshift aircraft of Arlington's own design.
Ah shit, I got no ammo!
Just how the Weasel managed to convince these hardened criminals that such a plan was even possible remains a mystery to this day. What is known is that no such plane was ever built. Instead, the group's plans for freedom soon descended into bitter argument and infighting. With the plan falling apart, anger and frustration would ultimately lead to a brutal altercation between the misguided Arlington and his former co-conspirators. Armed only with makeshift weapons, Finn O'Leary, Sal DeLuca, and Billy Handsome lured the unsuspecting Arlington to the roof, where they intended to exact a bloody and violent revenge. And so it was here, beneath the dark and stormy winter skies, that the hapless Arlington met his grisly end, bleeding to death on the cold concrete roof.
After you've listened to the last audio log, you'll hear that classic laugh, and from there, you'll need to make sure that the plane is spawned on the roof. If it is, you'll have to enter afterlife mode one last time and jump towards the plane to board it. This will be the grand finale of the Easter egg and our last trip to the Golden Gate Bridge. Once you can see, you'll notice your body in the electric chair. Simply revive yourself to begin the final fight. If you're playing alone, you'll notice a bot spawning in as me or another mobster if you're playing as me. Regardless of which it is, your goals are to survive the endless onslaught of the undead and to take out the enemy player. And just like that, the cycle will either continue or be broken. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed, and if you have, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe.